Good morning and happy Thursday. This is Mr. Waldbillig coming at you from Delano Intermediate School. Time for another episode of Dub's Daily Delano Announcements. It is April 23rd, the year 2020, Distance Learning Day 18. A few announcements before we get started today. Please keep sending in those pet pictures. I've gotten a lot of pictures, some from the farm, a few from a teacher. We've gotten a bird, like I said. We've got all sorts of animals flocking in, no pun intended. So keep sending them. Please continue to check your email and check your assignments for teacher feedback. It is important, and that's the whole purpose of this distance learning. And as always, please be sure to do your attendance. We have no 6th grade birthdays today, but I do have a joke of the day for you. Yesterday's joke of the day probably was not that great. It was more of the story, and I'm not sure if you got what was going on, but maybe you did. Okay. Yesterday, this is the joke, not an actual thing. Yesterday, I saw a guy spill some Scrabble letters on the road. I ran up to him and asked, "What's the word on the street?" Yeah, I guess, that wasn't that great. You know what? I think I need 6th grade jokes. Send in your 6th grade jokes. Email me your jokes. You know what? It doesn't have to be a 6th grader. Anybody that watches this. Email me your jokes, and I'll say it on this broadcast. Send in your jokes. Obviously, school-appropriate jokes. But email me, message me on Instagram, whatever it is. Anyone and everyone. I'll start telling them tomorrow. In lieu of a quote today, we have a brand new segment. A brand new segment. It is called Palmer's Tromp. Please enjoy.
So I want to welcome you to the first edition of Palmer's Tromp. We're going to be tromping around outside. We're going to be looking at nature. Let me get out my boots. Here I have my sock, and here's my boot. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to propagate an apple tree. Most people think you can grow apple trees from seeds, and you can. But the apples you get from seeds are not going to be very good. So what you need to do is you need to take a cutting, and we're going to clone a tree instead of growing it from seed. I'll show you how. You want to have good drainage. And then we're going to cut a little branch. I'm going to pick this branch here. I can see that there's little nodules right here. This will be a leaf, or it can become a root if I put it below the ground level. And here you have some more little nodules. And this fuzzy thing on the end here, that's actually going to be an apple. But it's too low on the base of my trunk of my tree, so I'm going to make it into a clone instead. And I'm going to carefully cut right about here. Okay, I've almost cut my little tiny branch all the way through, and you can see how it's a little green on the inside, but yet the apple tree hasn't started to leaf out yet, so it's just coming out of dormancy or its winter sleep. That's a good time to start a cutting. Next, you want to take your knife and scrape down a little bit on the sides. This will make it easier for the new plant to take in some water. And then when we plant it, we'll want to make sure some of these little nodes are below the earth level, because right now they think they're going to be leaves, but once they get below dirt, they're going to become roots instead. Okay, so here I go. I'm just going to plop it into my dirt here. Sometimes people stick the end in a little bit of rooting hormone. I don't happen to have any right now, but if I did, I sure would stick it in there. And then I'll do a little water on it. And then what I did is I took a Coke can and I just cut the bottom off. Coke can, just cut the bottom off, and I'm just going to put it over the top, and it'll be like a little greenhouse in there. And in about 3 weeks, we should have some roots, and we'll have a new little apple tree growing. All right.
Thank you for that very educational video, Miss Palmer. Our LS Talks preview today. We have not one, not two, but 3 siblings. Phoebe, Brenna, and Nash, who are seniors in Lake City. I taught Phoebe, coached Brenna, and I knew Nash. It's going to be great. I cannot wait to talk to all of them at the same time. The LS Talks, as a reminder, are due May 1st. Once you have all 6 of yours done, send them in to me. Send them in. I'll get them graded, and then you'll be good to go. For today's program, you do not need to do 3 separate slides. Do 1 slide for all 3 of them or 1 slide for one of them. I don't really care, but just 1 slide is needed to be done today. Don't forget to check out CNN 10 and Today in History and some good news with John Krasinski. I believe that's all I have for you today. Stay classy, 6th graders. Love ya. Be safe. Wear a seatbelt.